is prohibited, and anybody engaged in further campaigns contrary to the laws.
Governor of Murang'a County, Irungu Kang'ata, was in Nyahururu for a Linda Mwananchi event on Sunday, heeding a call by former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. The Linda Mwananchi team attended a church service, after which violence disrupted the political gathering they organized after prayers. Kang'ata claimed his driver was shot when his convoy was attacked by armed individuals and stone-throwing groups. The National Police Service has disputed the shooting claim, saying preliminary investigations showed no evidence of the same. We are now joined by Governor Kang'ata for clarity on the same. Very good afternoon to you, Governor. I hope you're doing well.
Yes, I am.
Karibu sana, and thank you for being here on KTN News Desk with us. A couple of questions for clarity. First of all, looking into the fact that we heard that you were injured at some point as well. How is your health right now?
Yes, I was admitted on Sunday evening at the hospital. Then I was discharged yesterday evening, and the doctor described the problem I had as what we call a SPUR, S-P-U-R, a form of strain caused on my heel because of some wounds, but I'm taking medication. I hope in the next 1 or 2, 3 weeks, I'll be fully okay.
Okay. In addition to that, Governor, your driver claimed by you was allegedly shot during this scuffle. Of course, when we saw that the violence had erupted, what exactly happened with him in that particular altercation?
My driver was attacked when we were in church. Prior to us going to the main field, he was with a truck that was going around, mobilizing people to attend the rally. Then he was blockaded by some young people who then beat him up, and then he was shot. However, it was not a live bullet. It was, according to him, a rubber bullet. Then he was then taken to the hospital. He was treated at Nyahururu hospital. Then he was discharged. He went to Murang'a. Then we did another medical examination just to be sure. Then he has now been discharged. He is recovering.
Right, so his first medical attention was actually in Nyahururu?
Yes.
Okay, and then proceeded to Murang'a for further treatment, as you said. The police have denied that there was any shooting. You've just told us that there was a scuffle. So we're not able to identify who the shooter was at this point, or how that exactly happened?
Of course, he can identify the people who molested him because he saw them. They came to him, and he could clearly see who was molesting him. As to the person who shot him with a rubber or whatever what it was, he can only guess among the people who molested him. As to whether he was injured, yes, he was injured and was taken to the hospital and he bled. It was a major issue. But there was also another shooting where we were. Remember, there were stones that were being hurled against us when we were at the stage. Then there was then some gunshots. We are yet to know who shot. There's a possibility maybe guards who are guarding us. You know, we are about 10 members of parliament and myself as a governor and 2 senators. We are many politicians who have guards. So there's a possibility maybe when the stones were thrown at us, maybe one of our guards shot. We don't know. But there's a possibility maybe that gunshot came from the police. Though there we doubt, or even those people who are beating us had some guns, we don't know. But definitely, the actual reason why we ran away were the gunshots, which I would imagine your people who are there recording the events can confirm. That was the actual trigger, apart from the stones, which definitely were aimed at us. But the actual reason why we went away was the shots And also, our window screens, our vehicles were damaged by people who came very close to them.
Just very quickly, the police have actually come out and disputed claims of a shooting, and they said that preliminary investigations have shown that such did not happen. 6 people have been arrested over this. What would be your thought around what the police have to say?
Okay, first, the police are negligent to the extent that we were stoned. What I can tell you is that when we were coming from the church, I personally saw a police vehicle ahead of us. The people who were throwing at the stones at us were not arrested, they were not tear gassed. Nothing happened. And so even that police vehicle that was ahead of us did nothing. Who knows? Maybe it was even doing the opposite. Maybe beckoning or signaling to the attackers to our movement. Because after AIPCA church, immediately we went into a junction. On the right, you go back to Olkarau. On the left, you go to Nyahururu CBD. And that's where the stones were being thrown at us. 200, 100 meters ahead of us, there was a police vehicle. Nothing was done to those young men. Then we were then forced to take a detour to the KCC depot within Nyahururu CBD. Then we reached the Nyahururu Road. Then we decided to now go to the venue, which was right in the CBD of Nyahururu. So on going there, again now, immediately we started the meeting. Stones started to rain on us. There were gunshots. There were smashing of our vehicles, which, by the way, this thing is straight because it was being recorded live on TV. I think Inoro TV was live, so one can easily get those footage and see what happened. It is on that stage that I personally ran out and then I got injured. But luckily, I entered into my vehicle and ran away. Then my driver had been accosted earlier on, not at that stage. Yeah.
Thank you.
To the police, maybe I can say something about the police claims is that. So there are 2 problems with the police. Number one is the sin of omission. You know, they ought to arrest prior to this thing happening. When you look at how it happened in Keumbu, we could see police there. When you look what happened in Nyahururu, they were there. And they could see those young men throwing stones, nothing would happen. When we look at Kisumu, the church neighbors, the headquarters of police. And you can see young people going on a road with bows and arrows and pangas. There's no arrest. We have to. It is the other young people who support now Linda Mwananchi who then go and stop and make an arrest or whatever. So ideally, as to the nitty-gritty of my incident, for me that's neither here or there. The issue has to be, why can't the police in advance stop and arrest these people? What is happening to our intelligence service? They know the planning happens many minutes before, many hours before.
With their knowledge.
Why can they be proactive and arrested?
Indeed. Of course, we'd like to continue following that up with you as time goes by. But thank you for joining us this afternoon, Governor Irungu Kang'ata. Asante sana. We'll take a break with that here on KTN News Desk. There's more to come after this break. See us on the other side. Don't go away.